Behind me is something very interesting called the St. Annaberg Thingstätte. Now, people know about the Nuremberg rally grounds, and they know about a lot of the sort of Thanksgiving festivals and Christmas festivals that the Nazi Party would hold, but they don't know about the Thingplatz or the Thingstaates. Thingstaates were a concept invented by Nazi propaganda minister, and his idea was to take a singular thing, being National Socialism, and to idolize something in a sort of pagan worship ritual around it. And obviously they're tying in elements of Roman mythology, of the sort of amphitheaters there. And they built this temple around Silesians, which they viewed as the Germanic people. And specifically, if you can see the white monument behind me, that's to the Silesian uprising. So back in the 1920s, I believe the year was 1920. It was after the Great War, but Poland had just recently gained independence. And the miners in this town staged, or in this region, staged 3 uprisings because they were upset that the majority of the community, the majority of these provinces, were Polish and what they viewed as a separate ethnicity, Silesian, a separate Slavic ethnicity is what they viewed it as, but the Germans viewed it differently. They viewed it as Germanic. And they were upset that they were all Polish, but the Germanic people were the sort of owners of them. All of the educated class, all of the teachers and priests, they were all German speaking, all German people. They were like the landlords. And they just got upset and they started fighting a war. And this was after World War I had ended. And the Weimar Republic sent some soldiers, essentially completely without any orders. I believe a couple generals just basically marched troops in here and started fighting the Polish soldiers, which were, at the time, also irregular. They weren't fighting under any given orders. And, in fact, Berlin ordered the Weimar Republic troops to stop, but they didn't. And after a period of heavy fighting, there were casualties on both sides, very heavy casualties. After a period of fighting, the Allies had to step in. And Berlin finally gave the order that said, stop or we'll make you stop. And so they gave the order to stop, the German generals, but they were still fighting because it was such open warfare that they didn't even know what was going on the ground. This was the Battle of Annaberg. And after the war, they weren't given any recognition by the Weimar Republic government. And a lot of Germans believed that this area was rightfully Germanic. And so this struck people as a disservice because many, many soldiers died. And during Nazi times, they came through here and they built this monument to them and to the sacrifice which they believed, wrongly, that they were creating this greater Germanic empire. And the monument on top used to be a sort of cathedral, not a cathedral, but a monument to the German war dead. And after World War II, when this place was created, it would hold about 20,000 people with standing space. They had many great performances and open-air theaters here as a part of a propaganda program. They dynamited the tomb, which I believe contained 36 members who died in battle here of the German Weimar Republic Provisional Army. And they erected a new monument to the people of the Silesian uprising during communist times, or that was when the monument was made. So now we have this huge amphitheater left lying here, and it's not too far away from Auschwitz. And I do think that people who visit Auschwitz ought to visit this place because it's kind of isolated and hidden away in the woods. But it's an interesting chapter of history, for sure, I think.